Have you ever stopped to think what the world would be like if oil simply disappeared? A world where engines stop, factories go silent and the lights go out. Oil is the backbone of our modern society, powering our vehicles, fueling our industries and lighting our cities. But what if these reserves run out? What would happen then?
Imagine your life without electricity, without vehicles, without many of the everyday products you use. Hard, isn't it? That's the world without oil. This viscous black liquid, often referred to as black gold, is the lifeblood of our modern society. It fuels our cars, powers our industries, and is a crucial ingredient in a myriad of products, from plastics to pharmaceuticals. Ever wondered why oil holds such a pivotal place in our lives? Well, it's all about energy. Oil is an incredibly dense source of energy. It's easy to transport, easy to use, and, until recently, easy to extract. This combination propelled oil to the forefront of our energy needs, and it's been ruling the roost ever since. Take transportation, for example. It's virtually impossible to think of a world where cars, trucks, airplanes, and ships don't run on some form of petroleum. Whether it's getting people to work, transporting goods across continents, or enabling us to travel and explore the world, oil keeps us moving. Then there's industry. Oil doesn't just power the machines that manufacture our goods, it's also a raw material in countless industrial processes. From the rubber in your sneakers to the plastic in your smartphone, oil is everywhere, quietly shaping our lives in ways we rarely stop to consider. And let's not forget agriculture, the very sector that feeds the world. Modern farming relies heavily on oil, not just for machinery and transport, but also for the production of fertilizers and pesticides. Without oil, the global food supply chain would come to a grinding halt. But here's the catch. Our oil reserves are dwindling. Years of excessive consumption have taken their toll, and we're now consuming more oil than we're discovering. Some experts believe that we could exhaust our easily accessible oil reserves in just a few decades, and so we find ourselves standing on the brink of an era where oil, our black gold, could run dry. The oil wells run dry and the world plunges into chaos. But what does this chaos look like? Imagine a world where the hum of cars on the highway is replaced by an eerie silence. As oil shortages hit, the transport sector grapples with skyrocketing fuel prices. Gas stations are ghost towns and the roads are empty. The once ubiquitous car becomes a relic of a bygone era. But the domino effect doesn't stop there. A world without oil means a world where industry grinds to a halt. Factories, once buzzing hives of activity, now lie dormant. The machinery, dependent on oil for energy, gathers dust. Goods, once transported across the globe in a matter of days, now remain confined to their place of origin. The global supply chain, it seems, is broken. And with the collapse of transport and industry, the economy inevitably follows suit. The world spirals into a recession. Unemployment rates surge as businesses buckle under the strain of operating without oil, global financial markets are in free fall, and the echoes of the economic crash reverberate around the world. But the chaos isn't just economic, there are environmental implications too. On one hand, greenhouse gas emissions drop dramatically. The skies above our cities become clearer as the constant cloud of smog lifts. But this silver lining has a cloud. The transition to renewable energy is a challenge, and not all alternatives to oil are as green as they seem. In the rush to replace oil, the risk of environmental damage persists. The world without oil is a world in chaos. It's a world where daily life as we know it is turned upside down. From the car you drive to the goods you buy, from the job you hold to the air you breathe, everything changes. As the oil wells run dry, the world doesn't just stop, it crumbles. But remember, it's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to adapt, to mitigate this chaos. But that's a story for another scene. Every cloud has a silver lining, and the oil shortage cloud is no different. Imagine a world with less smog, clearer skies, and a significant drop in greenhouse gas emissions. That's a glimpse into a future without oil. This transition would undoubtedly bring a breath of fresh air, literally and figuratively, to our environment. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The shift from oil to renewable energy sources presents its own set of challenges. We're talking about the necessity to build new infrastructures, the lag in technology, and the need for a massive global collaboration. And let's not forget, in our quest for alternatives, we could inadvertently cause further environmental damage. The bottom line is an oil shortage could offer a much-needed push towards a greener future. But it's not a magic wand that erases all our environmental issues. So while the oil shortage could ease the burden on our planet, it doesn't solve all our environmental problems. The oil wells may run dry, but human ingenuity never will. Imagine a world where the air is cleaner, the energy is renewable, and the technology is efficient. That's the world we can create if we seize the opportunity that the oil crisis presents. The first step on our path forward is investing in renewable energy. We're talking about solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. These solutions harness the natural forces of our planet, transforming them into clean, sustainable energy. And the best part? They're limitless. The sun will always shine, the wind will always blow, and the rivers will always flow. To complement this, we need to rethink our transportation systems. The age of individual fossil fuel-powered vehicles is nearing its sunset. Let's usher in the dawn of efficient public transportation. Imagine high-speed trains powered by solar energy, electric buses running on city streets, and bike lanes filled with people enjoying a cleaner, healthier environment. This isn't a dream, it's a reality within our grasp. Energy efficiency is another key player in our game plan. From LED lights to energy-saving appliances, every bit of conservation helps. We need to make the most out of the energy we produce and minimize waste. Couple this with a shift to renewable energy and we're looking at a significant reduction in our carbon footprint. But we're not stopping there. The field of technology is bursting with potential. Innovators worldwide are working on groundbreaking solutions that could replace oil. We're talking about everything from hydrogen fuel cells to algae-based biofuels. The possibilities are endless, limited only by our will to explore and innovate. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to a future bound by the limitations of oil, the other to a sustainable world powered by renewable energy and efficient technology. With a little ingenuity and a lot of willpower, we can turn the oil crisis into an opportunity for a sustainable future. The choice is ours to make, and the time to act is now. The future is not something that just happens to us, it's something we create. And that creation is in your hands, in all our hands. We're at a pivotal moment in our history, where the choices we make today will shape the world we live in tomorrow. So how do we respond to the challenge of a future without oil? It starts by understanding that every action we take, no matter how small, can make a difference. We can begin by supporting clean energy policies. This means advocating for legislation and initiatives that promote the use of renewable energy over fossil fuels. It's about championing the cause of solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, and encouraging our governments to invest in these sustainable sources of energy. Next, we can reduce our own fossil fuel consumption. Consider the ways you use energy every day, from the car you drive to the appliances you use. Could you walk, cycle, or take public transport instead of driving? Could you switch to energy-efficient appliances and light bulbs? These choices may seem small, but when multiplied by millions of people, they can have a profound impact. And finally, we can invest in green technologies. This doesn't just mean big corporations, it means you and me investing in the future, whether that's by installing solar panels on our homes, buying electric cars, or simply supporting companies that prioritize sustainability. The path to a sustainable future may seem daunting, but remember, change is often most effective when it starts at the grassroots level. It starts with you. It starts with all of us making conscious choices to support a healthier, more sustainable world. The oil wells may run dry, but our potential for innovation and change is limitless. Together we can create a sustainable future. So let's roll up our sleeves, let's get to work. Because the future is not just something that happens, it's something we create.